Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we got My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 4, guys. Last episode, we got the reveal, man. The reveal of who the traitor was at My Hero Academia, guys. They caught me off guard. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the guy that I kind of think, like, if you lined up everybody in Class UA and said, pick out the traitor based off what we knew before that reveal, right? Let's say at the start of Season 7. I probably would have pointed my finger at Ayawa. Or Ayama, sorry, not Ayawa. I'm mixing like Aizawa and his name together, but Aoyama. But that's because of like he had that weird thing. But they threw me way off because they showed like he often when talking about like, oh, that's because I have a lot of friends in a lot of places. And then they showed Invisigirl. So it's like when that happened, dude, I literally went on like a 5-minute rant how I was like, dude, is it Invisigirl? This whole time it was her because she's missing from this scene right here. She's missing. Like, I literally was sitting there going, holy crap, dude. They literally had me. I would not have suspected her at all in the slightest. But then to find out that it actually was Aoyama this whole time, and he was just put in like a really terrible situation, to be honest. Like, his parents made a deal to get him a quirk. He made the decision based off like the guilt that his parents put under him, the pressure that his parents put on him. Like, what are you supposed to do, right? You have a choice. Your family, your parents, the ones who raised you, the ones who cared about you, did all this. You have to pick their lives over, some students that, no offense. Like, I'm sure that he loves his friends, but at the same time, it's like your parents you've been with your entire life. So it's kind of a no-brainer in a way. But I feel bad for Aoyama because it's like he just kind of got put in a terrible situation. I don't think he's bad at all. And at the end of that episode, he said that. He said, I'm a villain. And I love that Midoriya kind of reached out to him and said, like, hey, you're not a villain. Like, you still have a chance to be a hero. And I love that now this episode's called The Story of How We All Became Heroes. So we'll see how this all lays out, guys. We now have a plan, though. Like, in discovering all this, it gave us a card to play that we can maybe draw out All for One and Shigaraki in the meantime. So let's see where all this goes, guys. If you guys haven't already, real quick, do me a huge favor, guys. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, guys. Help us grow. It's the year. It's 2026, baby. Let's see if we can push ourselves. The goal for this year is to try to get to 500 subs on YouTube, guys. So it'd mean the world to me if y'all help me out and pushing to that goal. And then if you guys want early access to all these things, guys, join us over on Patreon. The link is down in the description below. We got early access. We're a couple weeks ahead over there. We've also got new anime that we're going to probably be starting this year, but it'll be voted over on Patreon. So Patreon members will get a vote on that, and it'll probably be a Patreon only anime for a while until we release it to YouTube. So we'll get a vote on what anime we're going to watch on Patreon only at the time. But then also you're going to get first access to JJK Season 3 when we start watching that. That is coming out from the day I'm recording it. It's coming out in like 3 days, 2 or 3 days. So we got JJK Season 3, which will release a couple hours early on Patreon versus YouTube. But you also get it all unfiltered, so there's no filter over the top, there's no cuts in and out of the scene to cut it down to fit on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, guys. So join us over there on Patreon, guys. With all that being said, we're jumping in this, guys. My Hero Academia Season 7 Episode 4, The Story of How We All Became Heroes. Let's get it.
The USJ and the training camp. I led them to us both times. Midoriya, it's true. I am a revolting villain.
Of course not! So I want you to take my hand. Right now!
Hey guys, maybe you should hit pause for a second and think this through. A crime is a crime. I hate to point this out, but you're the ones who are hurt most by his actions. Do you really want to trust an admitted traitor?
Yeah, but it's not like he
Yes,
did
sir.
it
We can put his actions
with
in
ill
the past.
intent.
Besides, none of us noticed how tortured he was. So
Situation
we
and
have to take some
circumstances should play a
responsibility,
part in
too. He's our
certain
classmate,
things like this.
And he's sitting in front of us weeping like the epitome of despair. That's why we're holding out a hand to him.
You were there when we went after him. We told him we'd help him, and we'd share his responsibilities. We said from now on, he wouldn't have to face anything alone. Aoyama, meddling when you don't have to is the essence of being a hero. You're still one of us.
I love that quote, dude. Meddling when you don't have to is the essence of being a
There are still
hero.
protocols we have to follow, and right now we need these three to fully cooperate with our investigation. They've said All for One won't fall for any lies. As you heard earlier, any dishonesty will be met with violence.
I don't suppose you have an actual plan.
Not yet. Nothing solid.
Right. That's what I expected. Detective, as Class A's homeroom teacher, I also bear the blame for what's happened. And I feel the same way my students do.
You're kidding.
Aoyama, you can rest assured. I have no intention of expelling you from UA.
Dang.
I know my students well, and I see a way forward.
You have a plan?
Before I start, can you make absolutely sure that the Aoyamas won't be able to hear what I have to say?
Sure, you got it.
Here's what I propose we do.
I understand. We'll
So
need
what's
to
the plan?
examine each
Damn,
location
they put
thoroughly.
those things on me
If
too.
the
These
elements
headphones
fall
locked
into
that
place,
sound
this
so I
could
couldn't even
work.
hear it.
Yes.
That's
Success
crazy
will
work,
depend on
Aizawa.
him, though.
We only have a week if we want to use our advantage. We can't just sit on our hands.
It's a plan worth considering. I'll take this back to HQ and start hashing out the particulars. Obviously, the only people at UA who should know anything about this are those in the room with us.
This will be okay!
Guys, let's make sure we beat them.
Yeah!
Oh, what a freaking shot that was, bro. They all look so determined, bro. They look pissed and determined.
I have to be able to fight at a
Look at
moment's
his.
notice.
Look at that, dude.
Ready for any opponent. So there's an important piece of gear I need fixed. Deja vu.
Oh, he he didn't even get to open the door. She just experimenting.
Oh wow, it's been a minute, Midoriya. How's it going?
Wow. Bro got a nice face
Sorry
full.
about the door. Did you two need something?
We stopped by because we're hoping you have spare time to work on our costumes.
Hmm? Why not ask the item agency since they usually handle those kind of repairs?
Well, you see, the agency is basically defunct, much like every other business. The support course is our only real option.
We're here to get costumes repaired, is that right? Come on in.
Damn, what has been going on in here?
You've changed the look of the place.
Yeah, a lot.
We had to, given what the principals asked of us. I'm in charge of keeping the UA barrier up and running, along with research and development. The entire support course is helping out.
Oh wow, this is incredible. That's amazing.
She is definitely the most
This is
innovative
why she doesn't
person.
know what's happening outside the school. She's
And
been
it's crazy
completely
because I'll bet
focused
you
on
she's
designing
probably
new
come up with
inventions.
like the almost
We're
every
lucky to have somebody
bit
like her
of
working
the
behind
barrier
the
they
scenes.
currently have, dude.
Don't be so close-minded, Midoriya. You sound as dense as polyethylene.
Sorry, I don't follow.
As dense
It's
as
not like I've got
polyethylene,
blinders
huh?
on. I know the messed up situation you heroes are in. We're not fighters down here. That's why we're pouring so many hours into our innovations. We're trying to protect people too, with our skills. I couldn't make the exact same gauntlets. These are inferior to your last ones. But if you can live with that, please put those babies to good use.
He's even got built-in gloves?
She just make that in like literally the 5 minutes they've been in here.
Anita, this isn't a one-to-one replica of the armor you destroyed, but make the most of it.
I'm so grateful.
We just found our measuring tape.
I guess we'll work on something else. Will you pass on a message to the rest of the hero course? Let's win this war.
Of course.
Hey,
Damn, she's good, bro.
Figured it would take you longer. We were just getting ready to.
They should do like a hero ranker for like developers
These
like
aren't
that.
supposed to implode like that.
You're the #1 support
I
or
heard about
hero
the
support or
tragedy involving
something.
your classmate. But I'm afraid you can't afford to lose time processing what's happened. Our best plan is still to track down the Paranormal Liberation Front and the League of Villains, then take them out in one calculated swoop. That's the quickest path to victory in a messy conflict like the one we're in. If we hesitate or freeze in fear, they'll get the upper hand. It's time you join the search!
Let's go, baby. Finally, we're sending them all out to the field. And I love actually the idea of
elsewhere.
splitting them up into 3 teams like that.
Level 100. Time for Century Blood! Are any of the evacuees injured, Sun-Eater?
So are we gonna see Lagoat?
No, they're very strong.
First off, regardless of the plan we're talking about,
That's supposed to
our
represent
success
All for
likely
One and
relies on
Shigaraki.
one thing: splitting up our foes. Based on the data recovered from Star and Stripes' fight, Tomura Shigaraki is currently far more powerful than All for One. And I know that everyone is aware of how strong All for One is. You no doubt saw the reports from Camino. The two of them can communicate via radio waves, but also through a shared consciousness.
If that's true, why didn't the two of them show up and fight Star together?
All for One likely guessed how New Order functioned. He knew that if Star called his name, she'd be able to impose any rules she wanted onto him. Right now, we're scoping out battlegrounds. The goal is for us to keep them at least 10 kilometers apart. Consider that the minimum distance we need for us to have a chance.
Of course, they're likely expecting as much. They'll do their best to counter our plan.
I was about to say, that's going to be
Exactly
tough to
right,
keep them that far
Serge.
apart.
Dobby's fearsome flame will burn everything in its path. We've run into that problem already at the training camp and at the mountain villa. We can't allow him to be on the field. His interference there would cripple us. To win this, we have to scatter everybody, their entire vanguard.
So we got
must
to
lure out the
not
enemy,
let pretty much
divide them,
any of the
and
League of Villains to be
systematically
together.
crush them.
Considering how things have gone so far,
How are we gonna
being
pull
a little
that off?
optimistic?
If this was easy, we'd have done it by now.
Yes. In order to achieve ideal fighting conditions, we need to do something they'll never expect.
Are you scared? Hate to tell you this, but you won't make many friends in life who'll stick up for you like your classmates did.
And he's sitting in front of us weeping
That is
like the
accurate.
epitome
That
of
is
despair.
100% accurate.
That's why we're holding out a hand to him.
Most people would have cast him off and sent him to jail, just like that officer was talking about.
That's right. But also that I can't twinkle like they do. It's like the more they believe in me, the harder they try to help, the less I'm able to believe in myself. Even if I could take their hands, what if All for One appears in front of me? And I end up betraying them again? What if I'm not strong enough? That's why I want to go away. They should lock me somewhere without any light. I'll die alone and no one will get hurt.
I expect the police will take it easy
Damn,
on
that's
you,
sad, bro.
But still, this won't go away. Aoyama, when this fight is over, you may not be able to call UA home anymore. Your classmates were being nice about this because they're your friends. I am your teacher, though. My duty is to be honest with you. As long as I'm your homeroom teacher, and you in turn are my student, you can rest assured, I've no intention of expelling you from UA. Because I won't let any of my charges live life indebted to someone. You will not drown in your guilt. Even though you may be miserable, you're going to stand beside your class, like they stood for you.
Yeah, you owe it to him.
Protect you.
What difference can one person make? Especially a criminal.
Oh, you have no idea.
He's got to be scared out of his mind. Anyone would be.
One person can
That's
make
why.
all the difference in the world, man.
We're not going to make you do anything alone.
Facts, baby. Facts, baby. Facts. Let's go, dude. That right there is why Aizawa is the GOAT of teachers, bro. This dude right there, man, stood by his students, but he also found a way to also be true to his students, right? He was like, hey, listen, like your students are going to stand with you because they won't abandon you, because they care for you, right? I care for you too, but I'm also your teacher. So my job is to be honest with you. And I love it. He was like, you know what? We're going to use you in a way that All for One did, right? But at the same time, like, understand we are there for you. You're not being left out on your own. We are going to stand next to you. And like I said too, I feel as though he owes his classmates that, at least, to stand up. Even if you are scared. You don't think they're scared too. You don't think that Class 1A is scared. You don't think a lot of these guys are scared. Of course they're scared, man. We're going into an all-out war with someone so powerful in All for One, who almost just defeated All Might back in the day. But then you add that we also have to deal with Shigaraki, who at the moment is stronger than All for One, according to All Might and them and what their intel's told them. So it's like, you know, it's a tough situation for Aoyama, but at the same time, if you know, what's that saying? If you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. Now's your chance. Stand for something, right? And so I love what Aizawa did there, man. I love that Aizawa found a way to be brutal with him and honest with him and tell him, like, hey, you know what? also he was honest with them in the fact that he said, look, I don't know that you're going to be able to come back to UA and be able to call UA home after what you did. But I will also say that I won't expel you. I won't abandon you as one of my students. And he could have been meaning that not in like a literal term, but in a theoretical term of the fact that he, in regards to saying like, hey, like, yes, the school will probably, like, you won't be able to call that school your home anymore, right? But here, you're always going to be my student. I will always be here for you. I will mentor you for your entire life. I won't abandon you. I'll always be your teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like saying that, like, even though I literally might not be able to be your teacher, I'm still there for you. Like spiritually, mentally, And I love that he kind of gave that sense of peace to Aoyama as well. And so, but we're going to see how this whole thing leads out, guys, and kind of figure out what is the plan. I do like their plan. I commented on earlier. I like that they're dividing up the students. They're getting them more involved. So they said they had They was Bakugo, Todoroki, and Midoriya. Each one of them are going to lead their own little team. And then obviously the hardest part of this whole thing plan is going to be, how do you separate Dabi, Shigaraki, and All For One? And you have to keep Shigaraki and All For One 10 kilometers away from each other at all time, at minimum. That's going to be, I think, the hardest part to pull off. But then not only are you having to pull that off, but now you have to defeat each one individually on top of all that. Once again, that's going to be a tough situation. Obviously, you're probably going to go something like, I would imagine you probably would send Midoriya's team maybe after Shigaraki, but at the same time, like, if you do that, are you exposing him to having All For One, or for having One For All taken away from him? But if you send him after All For One, that might be worst case scenario, because All For One, I think, is a little more strategic up here in planning for fighting against Deku. So it's a tough situation. I don't know, man. I personally, maybe what I do is I would send Deku's team for Shigaraki. I would probably send Todoroki's team to Dabi, and then I'd probably send Bakugo's team to All For One. That's probably how I would play it. But we'll see how they plan this whole thing out, because even if we do that, like I said, that there's no guarantees here. You still, like, I honestly don't know how we battle against All For One. How do we battle against Shigaraki? Who's on what team, right? Like, there's a lot of thought that has to go into this whole plan. So, but we'll figure out what they plan on doing and how they're going to roll it all out here in the next episode, guys. We'll catch you there, man. Deuces.